How's it going, guys? So, in this video, we're going to be talking about obviously the 2024 football season. And I'm just going to be going over like the worst case scenarios for Notre Dame this season. So, the thing that really, really, really excites me this year, of course, is the fact that, the playoffs got expanded to 12 teams. And there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to be able to get in with a lot of two loss teams, a lot of three loss teams potentially. But for Notre Dame's situation, um worst case scenario, okay, let's just say they lose to Texas A&M, right? And then they go on and they win the rest of their games. Well, at that point, that's the best. That's the I think Notre Dame, if they lose more than three, let's just say they go 9-3 again. Well, that's just the worst case scenario, in my opinion, for this year, because obviously with the 12-team playoff, I don't think there's a reason why they should be missing the playoff. You know, especially that schedule. I mean, that schedule is just not. It's not really all that great, if I had to be honest. Like, it's certainly not super easy. Like Texas A&M, of course, that's gonna be a tough game. Then you got Louisville. You get Louisville at home, and then you get obviously Florida State at home. So, I mean, that kind of helps a lot, as I was saying. But the worst case scenario here is that you cannot, you cannot, lose three games again. All right, that's the worst case scenario, and I hope that doesn't happen, because obviously those three losses coming to Texas A&M, Louisville, and Florida State. No, we can't have that this year. So I think that this year we have to. I think Marcus Freeman has to make the playoff this year, and the Texas A&M game is gonna, like, I guess the Texas A&M game is gonna be like, that's a big game, right? That's gonna be the game that could define like your whole season, you know, especially if you lose that game and then you go on to lose another. Well, if you lose that game and you just keep it to one loss, you're probably getting into the playoffs. We all know, because Notre Dame has gotten into the playoffs at 11-1 before. So, um, I know for a fact that they're getting into the playoff at that point at 11-1. But if they lose, let's say they go 10-2, right? Well, at that point, I don't think that they're going to be getting into the playoffs, because that's 10. 10-2. I mean, there's a possibility there, but theoretically, I don't think that the committee's gonna put them in. So I think that 11-1, 12-0 is like where I have like 11-1, especially because 11-1 they've gotten in, as I was saying before, at 11-1 like many times. Um, so I think that they'll be able to go 11-1 every year and still get in. So, but anyways, so yeah, the only way that I don't see them getting in is if they go 9-3 or 10-2. Like, that's the only way I don't see them getting in. Um, so worst case scenario here is that they go 9-3 again or something like that, and I hope that's not the case, because as I was saying, Riley Leonard to me is not really like, I'm personally not sold on him necessarily, because I feel like he's another Hartman, like he's just, like, we think that he's going to be good, but then when he goes to play, he's not as good as as we thought. Like, same with Sam Hartman, right? Like, Sam Hartman, we thought that he was going to be better, Um, thought he was like the missing piece, but then all of a sudden he just wasn't as good. So that's kind of like my concern, I guess, with Riley Leonard. But then again, Riley Leonard, if he goes out there and he's and if he's like way better than what I thought, well, I'm happy with that. Like, you know, because we all know we will know that he's better than Sam Hartman. So, but of course, I have to believe it. I believe it when I see it. You know, if he's truly better than Sam Hartman, because especially if he's gonna, if he stays healthy, that's the biggest thing, right? If he's injury prone all year, I mean, we do get a backup plan, but that's definitely gonna hurt a lot in a lot of ways. But yeah, we do got a backup plan. Obviously, we got Steve Angeli, we got CJ Carr, of course. So I'm not too worried about that. But anyways, um, so yeah, I mean that's the worst case scenario that we go 9-3 again or something, which I don't really believe that's going to happen personally again, because obviously with Mike Denbrock coming in, you know, first season with Notre Dame, so then obviously Mike Brown, of course, new wide receivers coach. Happy, I'm excited, for the season. I'm excited for to see what they do, with the more experienced OC and a more experienced, I think, wide receiver coach. And I think that was the main problem last year. We weren't able to get much separation because Chancey Stuckey wasn't really a great wide receiver coach. Um, so I think that Marcus Freeman, got rid of. Obviously, he got rid of Marcus Freeman. He didn't get rid of Gerard Parker. Gerard Parker got he took the Troy job, so Marcus Freeman didn't necessarily fire him or anything, but which I'm glad. I'm glad that he took that Troy job. I'm glad that they offered him that job. I'm glad because I couldn't. I don't think that he's just not. He's just too inexperienced. But anyways, so I'm happy that the administration finally pulled out the paycheck and you know and went to go get Mike Denbrock. And I had to give credit to the administration as well, because they were the ones that made this happen. They finally let Marcus Freeman get who he wanted. So it feels like they're more open to football now. If I had to be seems like they're open more. They're starting to respect football. Now. So that's what it seems like, anyways. But anyways, so the worst case scenario for the football season is that they lose all three games: Texas A&M, Louisville, and Florida State. That's the worst case scenario. That's something that you have to avoid. You can't afford another 93 season. Um, which I don't think again that's going to happen, because again we do got more experience at OC, and we got a more experienced wide receiver coach. Which the wide receivers, I expect them to get more separation this year. Um, so I don't think that's gonna happen. But we're just talking about worst. We're just talking about worst case scenarios here, you know. And I'm not saying that's gonna happen or anything like that, because obviously that would be a massive failure of a season again if that happened. Especially with the 12-team playoff. You know, and we basically got an opportunity right in front of us, and there's no reason why we should be missing the playoff this year. But um, so yeah, that's basically the worst case scenario of, I guess, the 2024 season. I mean, I'm not saying that it's gonna. Again, I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but Marcus Freeman kind of worries me in a lot of ways, just the way his decision making at times. But I know he's still learning. I know that he learned, from his mistakes, from last year. So that's why I think that he's got to figure out a lot of stuff. He's got to figure out, like, when they when they're on the road, when they travel and whatnot. He's got to figure that out because last year again, he wasn't. It seemed like they struggled on the road a lot more, like last year, and that's the only thing that he's got to fix. He's got to fix. He's got to be able to fix. When they go on the road, when they get. Because they haven't been performing that well on the road. They always did better, at home, which um, in 2022 was like the opposite. They would do better on the road and do worse at home, which is kind of weird. But yeah, so I don't know. Marcus Freeman's got to fix all that. But if he fixes all that, I mean, I don't know how he's going to do it personally. But that's something that he's got to figure out because, you know, if they're going to compete for another national championship, they're going to have to, win these road games as well. Like, and they're gonna have to start fast too, um, and not struggle. So that's just my opinion on that. Let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think? The worst case scenario for Notre Dame season this year, like because I definitely think that I think that they're going to make the playoff. Personally, that's just my opinion. With all the talent that they have, um, the defense is obviously going to be really, really, really good this year again. Um, and again, the offense is kind of a question mark. Riley Leonard, how good is he really going to be? Well, I don't know. I don't know how good he's going to be. I gotta see it to believe it. Because everybody is basically saying that he's going to be like better than Sam Hartman, that he was like a step up. But I guess we'll have to see what happens. We still got 3 more months left, which is it seems like it's a long way still, but you know we'll get there. I mean, it's only like 3 months away. So, but anyways, guys, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe button, and comment down below. And see you on the next one.